despite how great it is. But the thing I really love about ChatGPT, which you won't find anywhere else, is the personal assistance. I talk about this a lot in my courses, how you can build your own assistant. This assistant, you give it whatever instructions you want. Of course, this feature is only available in the paid version. It helps a lot, really a lot. You tell it, for example, create, or you give it a name. You give it the instructions you want it to carry out in detail. You give it the capabilities you want. For example, whether it should search the internet or generate images. And most importantly, you can give it files so it only searches within them. You give it specific knowledge. So you can build your own assistant. This assistant is done, it just asks you and saves you a lot of effort. For example, I have one. So these are the visible assistants, but there are also hidden assistants. There's a bot that takes on Fadi's persona and is available to everyone. So that's its secret. That eye. Let me quickly open its instructions for you. Basically, I give it a detailed description to mimic Fadi, Fadi's expertise, and all that stuff, and I give it all my knowledge. All the knowledge that I'm willing to share, not everything from my whole life, of course. So when it answers, it searches through these files, and I've blocked its access to the internet. So here, when I ask it a question, it gives me an answer just like I'd expect, based on my own knowledge. If I tell it, give me 5 tips for raising children, it won't make them up. Where does it get them? From these files. This is really great and super important. Honestly, it's even stronger than Google here. Google gives random stuff, but this is focused. Notice here, it praises effort, not intelligence. It pulled from out-of-the-box blog posts, eliminate temptations. It got one from Naked Behavioral Economics, make healthy comparisons. It also took one from Behavioral Economics. It pulled from more than one book. And it gave me the answer. This really helps you build your own personal assistant, your own library. I mean, you can upload, if I'm not mistaken, up to 300 megabytes. So the number is big, there's no problem. It's related to the size, and of course it will be readable. I mean, if you upload something that's been scanned, like, in the end, as long as it's readable, we can get something out of it. Just remember, it shouldn't be something that needs Superman to handle. So if the text is in Arabic, it's better to use Word or PDF, but make sure the font is clear and recognizable, not some font that just shows up as symbols. The nice thing here is that when you build this assistant, you can actually create an assistant to help you with a specific task. For example, here I have an assistant called the Constructive Media Guide. This one isn't for me. To be honest, we made it for a dear friend named Hamad Al-Mahmoud. He has a PhD thesis. This PhD thesis is 400 pages long in English, and it explains how to create constructive media. And this is basically how, let's say, Hamad Al-Mahmoud thinks. I mean, we wrote it together. So when Hamad Al-Mahmoud wants to fact check something, so for example, when someone asks him, what is constructive media? He goes and looks it up in his 400-page PhD thesis in English and brings back the essence. Honestly, this could open up a lot of horizons for you, especially when you have knowledge. Now, if the file sizes are larger, I think it might need a software solution because they actually charge for it. They take about 10 cents per gigabyte. So it ends up needing a software program one way or another. In sales engineering, this kind of thing is really useful. It lets you provide the knowledge. Of course, never forget the magic phrase. Answer only from the file. Answer only from your knowledge. Always remember it. I'm only answering from the file. Now, for example, let's say I have some news and I want to turn it into a report. I could tell it, for instance, I have some news and I want you to turn it into a constructive report. So basically, it can help you in whatever way you want. For example, let's say the news is something like heavy losses in the stock market and so on. So it tells you there are heavy losses. Wrong losses, I don't know how to change it. Despite the heavy losses, the birds are chirping now. For our programmer and developer friends, the starting point is, my friends, to go to OpenAI. Sorry, the playground? Where's the playground? I mean, the place where. Let's just open it. OpenAI Playground. Here I can effectively work with it programmatically through the powerful API. And even if you simply want to quickly jot down some programming notes or ideas, you can certainly do that as well. Break time equals 0.5s/. Now I'll show you a bot that writes a program for you. You just tell it, make me a program that uses GPT, or just say, I want a program that calls the API. Just give it the starting point, and it'll give you the rest of the answer. We're going to see a lot of really cool examples like this, God willing. So here, I mean, with the API, you can input whatever prompt you want. You choose the model and specify here file search, so it searches and uploads the file. If there's any money involved, you just give it. Of course, you have a $10 balance, and it deducts from that. You can use whatever prompt you want, set the prices you want, and choose the model you want. The cool thing is, and let me say, this is a bit advanced, but someone might need it. The point here is that any solution you want to build, you can set it up in this way. So, why do people like this? Because you can build it on OpenAI and then integrate it into your own app. So this is a really important point. Here, you can build the solution yourself. You don't have to go only to a programmer. I mean, you can go, let's say, to a programmer to build this solution for you. But you can do it yourself. Let's say, a prototype here for the solution. And then the programmer can, in one way or another, take it and build it for you. Because after you build the solution, it even gives you the code. So if you take this code and then go to a bot and tell it, here's the code, continue building the interfaces for me, it can get you to 70 or 80% done. Of course, if someone isn't a programmer, things are definitely difficult. But if someone is a programmer, they know how to, let's say, handle things with a certain protocol. Now, a really nice point about OpenAI, as a very cool update, is that they connected everything under what they call Response API. It used to be called Chat Completion. It completes for you. You give it something, and it gives you back a multidimensional response. So you effectively create this incredibly powerful Superman-like function that can efficiently search through numerous files and documents. It can search the internet. It can write code. It can generate images. It can speak with voice. Can you imagine how awesome that is? One function that takes input, gives output, creates, mixes, draws, writes code, and searches the internet all in the same function. If there are any programmers here, don't be upset with us. It's just 3 or 4 lines of code. You import the library, call the function, set a few parameters, and give it the prompt you want. But with Python, it's even easier. Ever since Python was invented, programming has become, I mean, I'd even call it a lawyer. Where are the days of semicolon errors that we used to stay up all night fixing? Look how sweet this is. Just import the library, set the parameters, and happy holidays to you all. Honestly, this is a really, really nice feature in OpenAI. Now, there's an even better feature in the update. Maybe no one noticed it. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not, which is the voice generation for different voices. Amazing, just amazing. There's a website called OpenAI FM, which is basically OpenAI's own site. You pick whichever character you want. After you choose the character you want, you type in the text and listen to it. Let's say, just as an experiment. You select the character from here. And the cool thing is, now it can turn the voice into a character. So notice here that I can. For example, as a sports coach, just notice this. Energy, like animated, dynamic variation. You can give it, let's say, essentially whatever you truly desire and want. In detail, a question for you all. If we always think about everything as, like, what is it? I don't want to call it professional or consultant. What do you think? It gives you the essence that saves you time. If I tell it to speak in Arabic, it won't come out nice. It just won't sound good. What should I change to make it speak Arabic without messing things up? What do you think? Always think like this trick, this hack in the prompt. For example, here I have a consultant in parenting and children, no one better. This one, I've given my books on these topics and many big courses. I mean, I give it 500 pages and it gives me the result. For example, let's say I want to know how to encourage a child to sleep early after getting used to staying up. It searches through the course and gives me the answer. You can tell it to either convert or perhaps suggest a segment. For example, from 30 to 40 words. It gives you a direct answer ready to be delivered in a podcast. I'm buying time so I can help you. How do I make him speak nicely? If I take the text here, this is the first method. I have 2 points. The first point we should always remember is that the words need to be commonly used. So if I come and tell him your hands or your mouth blows, he won't know how to say it. Why? Because he's never heard it even once on TV. So if there's a word that's a bit uncommon and not widely used, I have to change it. The second thing is that I have to tell him, for the character here, the password is 2 words. I tell him, for example, Syrian Arabic, pay attention to how he speaks. An Arab character.
Encourage your child to sleep early through a consistent and comfortable routine.
Okay, did you see how nice it sounded? Why? Because I told it Syrian Arabic. I could also tell it standard Arabic, as if you're delivering the news, as if you're presenting. Let's say ideas now. Diacritics are a very important point. Remember, my friend, it's a bot. It doesn't understand the way we read. If we hadn't been taught diacritics, we'd just go by instinct, and even if you add diacritics for it, it'll usually pick the common usage and won't respond because it doesn't read letter by letter. It's seeing this word in context as it's meant to be read. Now, the trick, honestly, which I don't really like, but to be fair, you probably noticed that I've started using it. What is this trick? Who knows it quickly before I move on to the next section? This trick, right? Because it's learned here. Maybe we messed up the model. We told it the one who thinks here. I don't want the one who thinks. Why don't I want it to think? I don't want you to get creative and go off. I want to be the one who gets creative with the words. So here, where do I go? To 4:30. Look here, I mean, now I take these words quickly. Of course, you can say it in the Shami dialect, or you can say it in the Saudi Nadi dialect. The nice thing is that everyone sees their own dialect, as in it might not be correct, but others don't notice. So sometimes I avoid saying Syrian is wrong. It's shamey. I mean, not just Syrian, it's shamey, Jordanian, Levantine. But this avoidance is because I don't want anyone to overthink it. So here, I just tell them that. Accent. Arabic. Encourage your child to sleep early in a simple, comfortable way. Calm things down before bedtime. Turn off screens, tell a short story, or play soft music. Use gentle words, let them choose simple things, and sleep becomes a pleasant, beloved habit. Do you notice how the idea has changed? Encourage your child with a game. Let's say, if the point is just that I, of course, can change things here. If I were a director and someone was in a calm mood, I could change things here. So, whenever someone tells me beautiful, you say it because the whole game is about a voice that raises your blood pressure and a voice that sounds professional. This, as they say, even if you bring Arabic, it's not enough. Accent, I mean, sometimes it's an Egyptian accent. I don't know if you noticed that about me. I chose the coach because it has energy. Now, if I give it to you, you might fall asleep and say, encourage your child. Now, that's another trick. Do I just take the voice as it is, and when I put it on the video, I publish it right away? No, I do a little trick. Always remember, this human disguise is what messes everything up. Play it slowly. Set the speed to 1.1 and it will sound faster. Add pauses if you need them after it calms down. You'll know this part doesn't need editing. In the end, any editing program will do. And as they say, just give it a little push to the right. These little things might bother you the first time, but later on, they just become second nature. For example, now the video I'm working on only takes me 5 minutes to edit. Why? Because, like with any editing program, we just sync the video with the audio, speed it up, slow it down, and so on. So this is really great. And remember, for those who work in programming, you can actually integrate this into any application. So this is a really, really important point. When you create an app, you'll know how to make it take and process audio if needed. Of course, I'm going to close the page I finished so we don't get lost. So now we're done with OpenAI. Now, let's move on to our friend. But before we go to our friend, OpenAI, we have image generation, Sora, which we forgot about. I don't know why we forgot about it. Maybe because ChatGPT was released. But the cool thing about Sora, let me tell you the secret. The great thing is they released something called Search, which wasn't there before. If you knew about it, you'd see they released it pretty quietly. So you can search for anything you can think of. Anything that comes to your mind. For example, videos that were made before, and it even gives you the images. And if you click on any video or image, it gives you the prompt, and you can even remix it, meaning you can take that prompt and build on it. So you actually have a huge ocean for learning and inspiration. And if we want to call it stealing, I don't know, because the whole idea of copyright here is complicated. For inspiration, you can take that shot, change it, and make it your own. At the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus, you'll become an artist. It's not complicated. Just click and it gives you everything. It gives you the prompt, and with the paid version, you get up to 200 videos a day, I think. So you might end up with someone who just spends all day as a director, and then you can rewrite it from scratch. Of course, you can edit it. I don't know where I am. London is there. Not in mood to edit. You can go to ChatGPT. I don't want to waste time, so you can save time. Just go to GPT. Tell it, study this prompt. It'll say, I studied it. Then tell it, edit it so it fits Cairo. It'll edit it for you. You take it, try it out. If it comes out wrong, you fix it. Now, the really cool point is the extension, and it's a huge, huge secret. Honestly, I wasn't planning to tell you about it, but I can't keep it from you. There's an extension. I'll send you its name. But for now, if you want to take notes quickly, it's called Video Downloader. Thora Video Downloader. If you install it on Chrome, you'll see a tiny icon appear here. You see it? You can use it to download videos. So any video you want to download, instead of having to record it again from scratch. That's why when I told you that editing a video only takes me a few minutes, maybe now you know the secret. I look for the idea I want. I want to make a video about the agent, so I tell it, hey AI agent. I click explore. I pick the videos I want, download 3 or 4 of them. Then I write the script I want and turn it into audio. I put this together with that and I make it. For example, this one, you'll see it posted on Facebook today. I took it and edited it from here. The text above is me talking to an agent on the phone. I don't know if you saw it, but I used this in one of the videos. The agent is running. Very nice. I think I also used this one in one of the videos. I want to do it in Arabic. Don't make it complicated for yourselves at first. Should I show it to you or not? Just use paint and cut the text. You pick the same color, then fill it in with the bucket. If anyone, like me, used to work with paint back in 2000, they'll feel happy because the same feature has been around for 20 years. And if someone is from the post-paint generation, may God help them. I mean, I'm not saying it's an alternative version of paint, but you can fill in the blanks in a picture. Honestly, it's really cool. The secret is in the picture. I'm giving you the update along with the secrets. Honestly, we need to change. It used to be a workshop update, but now it's more like a best practice. The nice thing about it is that you can add images to the library and it can actually build the video based on them. I mean, it starts creating the video based on your images, based on your library. So if I have a specific image, I'm trying to look for something I made, but I don't know where it is, I think. If I have a specific image, this image is the same beautiful one we talked about a little while ago, the one of my friend at Oxford. It's a nice picture. Now, I don't know if his wife felt happy or if she made a movie for him after it happened. The picture basically became training material. We carefully upload the image and then provide it with the descriptive clip that accurately describes it over there. And notice, the story changed. Of course, there are some small mistakes. Honestly, the olive tree isn't exactly like a real olive tree and such. But trust me, unless someone is specifically looking for mistakes, no one really cares. People have become very, very accepting. On the contrary, if your work is related to social media, this actually gets more reach because the algorithm loves images and people get lost in them. And I mean, I don't know, people keep asking whether this image is made with AI or not. You start to mix things up. Let's just say it's more than, let's call it a concept. This library, notice, for example, how someone is working. One time, I wanted to make a summary for the book 2030, so I tried it out. But these are my personal photos. I give it my photo and it creates a version out of it. I mean, it's political stuff. It's a really vast field, let's say. But what's interesting is that with the competition with GPT, things have gotten really complicated,